Scammers got him for nearly $60,000.
But he says the bank knew it was happening and failed to stop them. Fox 13's Matthew Smith has been digging into this, and there are some lessons in this for anybody.
Your bank account is emptying while you sleep, and you won't know until it's too late. In 2024 alone, online banking scams drained over $2.8 billion from American accounts, with most victims never seeing their money again. Today, we're exposing 15 scams happening right now, ones that look completely legitimate until every dollar vanishes. Here's what to watch for before your balance hits zero. Your phone buzzes, a text from your bank says your account is locked. You click the link. 3 minutes later, your savings are gone. You're checking out at the grocery store when the alert hits. It looks official. Same logo, same warning format. The message says suspicious activity was detected. Click here to verify. What you don't see is the fake web page capturing every keystroke, your username, your password, even that security code you just typed. Scammers clone bank websites perfectly, down to the exact fonts and buttons. The FBI reports that SMS phishing cost Americans over $330 million last year. Victims said the texts came from numbers that looked almost identical to their real bank's contact. And here's what most people miss. Real banks never send links in text messages. They'll tell you to open the app or call the number on your card. That's the only detail that could have stopped it. Never click links in texts claiming to be from your bank. Always open your banking app directly. But at least you had to click something. The next scam doesn't even need that. You scan a QR code to pay for parking. The payment screen looks normal, but the money went straight to a scammer's account, and you can't get it back. It happens at parking meters, restaurant tables, even charity donation stands. Someone prints a sticker with their own QR code and slaps it over the real one. You scan, you pay, they disappear. Security researchers found fake QR codes in over 40 major cities last year. Some were on government parking meters. Some were taped to donation boxes outside churches. Federal prosecutors say victims lost an average of $400 per scan. Most didn't realize anything was wrong until they checked their bank statements days later. And here's the trap. Once you authorize the payment, it's gone. Payment apps treat it like you sent money to a friend. No refunds, no disputes. The only way to stop it is simple but crucial. Before scanning any QR code for payment, check the edges. If the code is a sticker, peel it gently. The real one should be printed directly on the surface. That works when you can see the scam. But what happens when the fake number looks real? Your card gets declined. You Google your bank's customer service number. The first result looks perfect. You call. You just gave a scammer full access to your account. It starts when you need help fast. Maybe your card stopped working. Maybe you see a charge you don't recognize. You type Bank of America customer service into Google and click the top result. The number connects immediately. The person sounds professional. They ask for your account number to pull up your information, then your social security number for verification. Within 2 minutes, they're inside your account. The Federal Trade Commission warns that scammers pay to advertise fake numbers at the top of Google search results. They look identical to real bank listings. Same logo, same website format, but the number routes to a call center overseas. Investigators found that over 12,000 fake customer service listings appeared in Google Ads last year alone. Average loss per victim, $2,100. Here's what banks don't tell you. They already know who you are when you call the real number. They should never ask for your full social security number or PIN up front. Always use the number printed on the back of your debit card. Never trust the first Google result. And that's just phone calls. The next scam uses your own payment apps against you. You get $500 on Zelle from someone you don't know. They message you panicking. They sent it by mistake. Please send it back. You do. Now you're out $1,000. It feels like the right thing to do. Someone says they accidentally sent you rent money. They're begging for help. The money shows in your account. You send it back immediately. 2 days later, your bank reverses the original payment. It was from a stolen account, but the refund you sent, that came from your real money. Now you owe the bank, and the scammer kept your $500. Consumer protection agencies say this scam cost victims over $400 million last year. Most people had no idea the original payment would bounce until it was too late. And here's the part that makes it worse. Zelle and Venmo treat these like authorized transactions. They won't refund you. They say you chose to send the money. The fix is counterintuitive but critical. Never refund a mistaken payment yourself. Contact your bank or the payment app directly. Let them reverse it through official channels. But stolen payments are just the beginning. The next scam doesn't even need your login. Has this ever happened to you with a payment app? Drop your story below. You check your bank balance at the airport. The Wi-Fi is free and fast. What you don't see is the hacker sitting 3 gates away, watching every keystroke you make. It happens at coffee shops, hotels, libraries, anywhere with public Wi-Fi. The network name looks official. Airport free Wi-Fi or Starbucks guest. You connect without thinking twice. But that network is a trap. Scammers set up fake Wi-Fi hotspots that mirror real ones. Once you connect, they can see everything you do online. Bank logins, passwords, credit card numbers. Cybersecurity firms report that over 35% of public Wi-Fi networks in major airports are fake or compromised. The average victim doesn't discover the breach until fraudulent charges appear, usually weeks later. And here's what most people never consider. Even encrypted websites can leak information if the connection itself is compromised. The protection is simple but often ignored. Never access banking apps or websites on public Wi-Fi. Use your phone's cellular data instead, or wait until you're on a trusted network. That's digital theft. But the next scam targets something even more vulnerable, your heart. Want to stay ahead of new scams before they hit your account? Subscribe now so you don't miss the next warning. You've been talking to someone online for months. They seem perfect. Then they ask for help with a family emergency. You send $3,000. They disappear. You were never talking to a real person. It starts slowly. A message on a dating app. Compliments. Shared interests. Daily conversations that feel genuine. They never ask for money at first. Then comes the story. Their mother needs surgery. They're stranded overseas. They need help covering rent until their paycheck clears. It feels urgent. It feels real. You wire the money. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center reports that romance scams cost Americans over $1.3 billion in 2023 alone. The average victim lost $12,000. Some lost their entire retirement savings. And here's the part that destroys people. The scammer was never a single person. Most are organized teams running dozens of fake accounts simultaneously, using scripts designed to manipulate emotions. The red flag most people miss? Anyone who refuses to video chat or meet in person, especially after building a relationship for weeks. Never send money to someone you haven't met face to face, no matter how real the connection feels. But emotional manipulation is just one tactic. The next scam uses fear instead. Your phone rings. The caller ID says it's your bank. They say someone just tried to withdraw $5,000 from your account. To stop it, you need to verify your identity. You give them your PIN. You just authorize the real theft. The call comes at dinner time. A professional voice says there's suspicious activity on your account. They list recent transactions, ones you actually made, to prove they're legitimate. Then they ask you to confirm your identity with your account number and PIN. You do it. After all, they called you. The caller ID matched. They knew your recent purchases. Everything felt official. What you didn't know is that scammers can spoof caller ID to make it look like any number, including your bank's. Those recent transactions? They pulled them from data breaches or social media posts about your shopping habits. The American Bankers Association reports that fake fraud alert calls drained over $180 million from accounts last year. Most victims only realized they'd been scammed when they called their real bank the next day. And here's the detail that should alarm everyone. Real banks never call asking for your PIN or full account number. They already have that information. If you get a fraud alert call, hang up, call your bank using the number on your card. That's phone-based theft. But what about when you're selling something online? You're selling furniture on Facebook Marketplace. A buyer sends you a check for $2,000 more than the asking price. They ask you to wire the difference back. You do. Their check bounces. You're out $2,000. Someone wants to buy your couch, your car, your old laptop. They seem eager. They offer to send a cashier's check immediately, but accidentally send too much. Maybe $1,800 instead of $800. They apologize profusely. They ask if you can just wire the extra $1,000 back before they pick up the item. The check is already deposited in your account. The money shows as available. You send the refund. 3 weeks later, your bank notifies you the check was fraudulent. It bounced. But that refund you wired, that was real money from your account. Now you're overdrawn. The Better Business Bureau says overpayment scams cost victims an average of $1,900 per incident. Over 14,000 cases were reported last year. And here's what makes it devastatingly effective. Banks show the funds as available before confirming the check cleared. It creates a false sense of security. Never accept more than the asking price. Never wire money to a buyer. If someone overpays, return the check and ask for a new one with the correct amount. But that requires physical checks. The next scam lives entirely in your inbox. Do you think banks actually protect customers or just themselves? An email from your bank says your account will be locked unless you update your security information. The email looks perfect. Same logo, same layout. You click the link. You just gave hackers everything they need. The email arrives on a Tuesday morning. Subject line: urgent, verify your account within 24 hours. It warns that failure to update your information will result in account suspension. The link takes you to a page that looks exactly like your bank's login screen. You enter your username and password. Then it asks for your security questions, your social security number, your phone number. Every piece of information a scammer needs to take over your entire financial life. Security researchers say phishing emails successfully trick over 30% of recipients. Once scammers have your login credentials, they can drain your account, open credit cards in your name, or sell your information to other criminals. And here's the trap most people fall for. These emails create artificial urgency. They make you panic. They push you to act before thinking. Real banks never send emails with embedded login links. They'll tell you to visit their website directly or use their app. Always type your bank's web address manually into your browser. Never click email links claiming to be from your bank. That's digital impersonation. But the next scam hijacks something even more personal: your phone number. Your phone suddenly stops working. No service, no calls. You think it's a network issue. It's not. A scammer just transferred your number to their device, and now they're resetting all your passwords. It starts with a call to your mobile carrier. The scammer pretends to be you. They say they lost their phone and need to transfer the number to a new SIM card. They provide some personal information, often stolen from data breaches. The carrier activates the new SIM. Your phone goes dark, and now the scammer receives every text message sent to your number, including two-factor authentication codes. They go to your bank's website, click Forgot Password. The reset code comes to their phone. They're inside your account in under 3 minutes. The Federal Communications Commission reports that SIM swap attacks cost victims over $68 million last year. Most people didn't realize their phone was hijacked until they saw their accounts emptied. And here's the terrifying part. Two-factor authentication is supposed to protect you, but when your phone number is compromised, it becomes the weapon against you. The best defense is setting up a PIN or password with your mobile carrier. It adds a required step before anyone can transfer your number. But even without your phone, scammers have another way in, and it's hiding on your computer screen. A warning pops up on your computer. Virus detected. Call Microsoft immediately. You call the number. Someone remotely accesses your computer to fix it. While you watch, they open your banking app and drain your savings. The pop-up appears while you're browsing. Loud alarms, flashing red text, a phone number to call for urgent support. Your screen freezes. You panic. You call. The person sounds professional. They say your computer is infected with a virus that's stealing your banking information. They need remote access to remove it. You download their software. They take control of your screen. While running scans, they open your banking app in the background. They create fake error messages to distract you, and within minutes, they've transferred money to external accounts. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center reports that tech support scams cost Americans over $806 million in 2023. The average victim was over 60 years old. Some lost their entire life savings. And here's what makes it so effective. The scammer convinces you they're protecting you. You watch them work. You trust them because they seem helpful. Real tech companies never cold call or display pop-ups with phone numbers. Microsoft, Apple, and Google don't work that way. If you see a pop-up warning, force quit your browser. Never call the number displayed. Restart your computer. That's manufactured fear. But the next scam promises easy money instead. Someone on social media says they can double your money in 24 hours. You send them $500 through Cash App. They block you immediately. Your $500 is gone, and there's no way to get it back. The post looks too good to be true because it is. Turn $100 into $1,000 overnight. They show screenshots of bank transfers, testimonials from happy customers. They promise it's legal, a banking glitch, or investment strategy. You send them money through Zelle, Venmo, or Cash App. They say you'll receive double the amount in 24 hours. They might even send you $20 back to build trust before asking for more. Then they disappear. They block you, delete their account. And because you willingly sent the money, payment apps classify it as a peer-to-peer transfer. No buyer protection, no refunds. Consumer advocates say money flip scams cost victims an average of $900 per incident. Over 40,000 cases were reported last year. And here's what most people don't realize until it's too late. Any guaranteed money-making scheme is always a scam. There are no legal loopholes that magically double your money. If someone promises returns that sound impossible, they are. No exceptions. That preys on desperation. But the next scam targets people in real financial need. You apply for an emergency loan online. You're approved within minutes. But first, you need to pay a $200 verification fee to prove you can make payments. You send it. The lender disappears. There was never a loan. You're behind on rent. Your car needs repairs. You search for quick loans online and fill out an application. Someone calls the next day saying you're approved for $5,000. But there's one requirement. To verify your bank account is real and capable of receiving funds, you need to send them $200 first. They call it a processing fee or insurance deposit. They promise it'll be refunded with your first loan payment. You send the money through Zelle or a wire transfer. Then silence. Calls go to voicemail. Emails bounce back. The website disappears. The Federal Trade Commission warns that fake loan scams cost Americans over $600 million in 2023. Victims were people already in financial distress, making the theft even more devastating. And here's the cruel irony. People who desperately need money are the ones paying money they can't afford to lose. Legitimate lenders never ask for upfront fees before issuing a loan. They deduct fees from the loan amount. They don't require separate payments first. If a lender asks for money before giving you a loan, it's a scam. That targets financial vulnerability. But the next scam weaponizes something even more powerful. Family. Your phone rings. It's your daughter. She's crying. Frantic. She's been in a car accident and needs $8,000 for bail immediately. You wire the money. Your daughter calls 20 minutes later from her office. She was never in trouble. You just sent $8,000 to a scammer using AI to clone her voice. The call comes late at night. The voice is panicked, scared. It sounds exactly like your child, your grandchild, your sibling. They're in jail, in a hospital, stranded in another state. They need money wired urgently. You hear them crying, you hear what sounds like background noise, police radios, sirens. The voice begs you not to tell anyone because they're embarrassed. They give you wiring instructions. You send the money, and then your actual family member calls you, confused, completely safe. What you didn't know is that scammers used AI voice cloning software. They found a 10-second video of your daughter talking on social media. The software cloned her voice perfectly. The FBI reports that AI-powered scams increased by over 400% in 2024. Victims lost an average of $11,000. Some families emptied their entire savings. And here's what makes it almost impossible to detect. The voice sounds exactly right. Same tone, same speech patterns, same emotional inflection. The only protection is a family code word. Agree on a secret word with your loved ones that only you know. Require it during any emergency money request. But even that won't stop the most sophisticated scam. One that combines everything you've learned so far. Ever noticed how these scams always target your strongest emotions? A bank employee calls. They know your name, your account balance, your recent transactions. They say there's been a security breach and they need to move your money to a safe account immediately. You authorize the transfer. You just moved your entire savings into a scammer's account. The call comes from your bank's real number. The person on the phone uses internal terminology. They reference specific deposits and withdrawals. They know details only a bank employee should know. They explain that hackers tried to access your account overnight. To protect your money, they need to transfer it temporarily to a secure holding account. They'll send you a one-time code to authorize the transfer. You provide it. The money moves. But it's not going to a secure account. It's going directly to a scammer overseas. And by the time you realize what happened, it's already gone. Industry experts say this scam combines SIM swapping, data breaches, and social engineering. Scammers buy stolen customer data from the dark web. They use SIM swaps to intercept authentication codes. They spoof caller ID to appear legitimate. Losses averaged $47,000 per victim in 2024. Some people lost over $200,000. And here's the part that breaks trust forever. Everything looked and sounded exactly like a real bank interaction. The only way to catch it is knowing one critical fact. Your bank will never ask you to move money to another account for security. They'll freeze your account. They'll issue new cards, but they'll never instruct you to transfer funds. If someone claiming to be from your bank asks you to move money, hang up. Call the bank directly using the number on your card. These scams are spreading faster than anyone realizes, and they're getting harder to detect every day. In our next video, we expose how scammers are using AI to create fake videos of bank executives, tricking customers into authorizing six-figure transfers. Don't miss it. Subscribe now and learn how to spot the tricks before they hit your wallet.